and build a new world order for free and Canadian sovereignty.
You're up next.
I'm going to associate myself, I'm going to agree with that.
Like Prime Minister Trudeau, half of this cabinet are actually young global leaders of the world. Right. We penetrate the cabinets. The change is not just happening. The change can be shaped by us.
We have to prepare for a more angry world. How to prepare? Take the necessary action to create a fairer world. I see the need for a great reset.
So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had and everything will be normal again. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen.
I think that fake news have been with us for thousands of years. Just think of the Bible. I think that fake news have been with us for thousands of years. Just think of the Bible. I think that fake news have been with us for thousands of years. Just think of the Bible.
Is it true that the leaders of the world are planning towards one world government? The video circulating the internet now, exposing their hidden agenda. The entire Middle East is going through a great reset in order to fully establish the Abraham Accords in preparation of the arrival of the Antichrist. And we are just scratching the surface. Welcome, dear friends, to TIBP Live. When there is a crisis, people are awake. And it can be used both for evil and good. They say that let us not waste a crisis and take advantage of it.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
The entire Middle East is going through a great reset in order to fully establish the Abraham Accords in preparation of the arrival of the Antichrist. Isaiah 28 verse 14 to 15. Wherefore hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. So the majority of the Christians today that believes that these wars that are happening right now, that these crises that are happening right now will lead to the arrival of the Antichrist. That the beginning of sorrows in Matthew 24 verse 8 will usher in the near future Antichrist that will rule 3.5 years because of a misinterpretation of Daniel 9:24 to 28. Dear friends, do you believe that the Antichrist is a future thing or the Antichrist exists now? Let me know in the comment section. Here are some clips circulating in the internet, both new and recent, about a new system that is coming, a new form of global control, that again the majority is connected with the final appearance of the Antichrist.
Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty and I am proud of it.
Pain detection, and once we understand the circuitries that cause pain, I guess the question is, could we then instill pain? I guess the question is, could we then instill pain? I guess the question is, could we then instill pain? I guess the question is, could we then instill pain and use that in many coercive measures in the legal system as well?
In 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants.
Why do they want implants on us? Implants on our brains?
And we measure your brain waves, and I can immediately tell you how the people react, or I can feel how the people react to you.
Yuval Noah Harari, the man I recently made a video on, who makes it a point in almost every interview that he does to mock Jesus and the Bible,
I think that fake news have been with us for thousands of years. Just think of the Bible.
But not the intelligent design of some God above the clouds. Not the intelligent design of some God above the clouds. Not the intelligent design of some God above the clouds.
What about brain waves manipulation? Why do they see people as hackable animals? Former chairman Klaus Schwab consistently said that we need that type of transparency where people can't have a private life at all. I quote, he said, "If you got nothing to hide, then why should you care?" With a social credit system and complete control over everyone's digital lives, making everyone a citizen of the world and not specific nations, and their own laws of this is again achieved most easily by giving your life completely over to the social credit system, brought under a system of one world control. This is the reason why Christians today believe futurism, that the mark of the beast will come as an implant, a microchip, a credit card system. And this is very much what Satan wants for people to believe in his propaganda.
Let me just read you something really quickly about what is inside of this pact. Everyone, it says that this is the power structure, fully digital and maximized for the control of the masses. Everyone will be expected to have a biometric digital ID that marks them not just as citizens of an individual country, but as a global citizen. So anytime you hear global citizen or anytime you hear sustainability, think that this is an egregious thing that's happening at the level of the World Health Organization and the United Nations. Anyone that has a dissonant opinion will be labeled as misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation and memory hold. Perpetrators for unapproved information will be fact-checked and punished by the system, which will be operated and enforced by artificial intelligence. Punishments will include being locked out of one's bank account, being unable to make certain purchases, unable to get on an airplane, on a subway, drive on public roads. This is the future, according to the world's self-appointed overlords at the United Nations.
On the 2024 Davos Convention, world leaders are consistently mentioning about hope. They want to keep on pushing the idea that they can bring hope to this dying world.
We have to give a future. We need to give hope. And we have to encourage the Ukrainian population to imagine their future. That it is our duty and it is our interest to do this, because if they lose hope, they're no longer going to fight. If they're no longer going to fight, the geopolitical consequences will be major, and they are not in our interest. So there's a real spin behind it.
They want to introduce a hope manufactured by temporal hope, but this is only a manufactured temporal hope that through the power they have acquired, they will introduce a solution for this dying world. Dear friends, do you believe that the Antichrist will appear in the future and will rule for 3.5 years? Dear friends, these verses that I will present to you now prayerfully will shed light that the Antichrist is here now, living with us. 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 8 to 10. And then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. Question, dear friends, first, who is the lawless one? Daniel 7, verse 25. And he, the little horn, will attempt to change times and law. So the lawless one is cross-referencing Daniel 7:25. he will attempt to change the times and law. The Antichrist is the lawless one. He hates the law of God just like Satan. So he will change the commandments of God, especially the commandment that deals with time. And there is only one commandment that deals with time: the Sabbath, the fourth commandment. Dear friends, and then the lawless one, the man of sin, will be revealed. So he will be revealed before the second coming of Christ. How do we know? Because the verse says, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth, and will be destroyed by the brightness of his coming. So he has to be existent. He has to be living now, because he will be destroyed by the brightness of the second coming of Jesus. The Antichrist is existing now. The Bible says, then the second coming will destroy him. These wars that we long for is in Titus chapter 2. Looking for that ship is in heaven. Dear friends, kindly share this important Bible study to all, and may we continue to preach truth found in Bible.